Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pdr Tool Time. This is episode 206. I'm your host, Vince D'Alessandro, along with Daniel Grom, John Renstrom, and Mr. Hudson Tansey. Today we are going to recap Mobile Tech Expo 2020. We're going to go over some of the tools that we got from you guys, and we're also going to be doing this live. Not live, but we're going to have video accompanying this because we want you guys to see the tools that we were talking about. So get ready to sit down and watch our video and smile at us and
get some popcorn. Get some popcorn, sit back, grab a beer, relax, and enjoy.
It's your lunch break. You earned it.
We're all recovering too from the MTE 2020 flu.
Who didn't get the flu?
The guy enshrined with the background there.
The guy with immune suppression. Is that right?
Immune suppressant drugs. I was so paranoid, dude. I had
doing air bumps and air handshakes.
No, I got a lot of hugs and a lot of beard feels. So nice. My number one winning item at this year's MTE was my beard.
There you go.
Well,
we're a little late to the game, but it gave us a little time, right, guys, to kind of test out some of the tools that we bought.
Yeah, I actually got to try some of mine out before I even talked about them, so that's nice.
That's good. I was too busy being sick. I was laid up.
Yeah, you were the sickest of us all.
I don't know. I had a dealership that was just kind of like, hey, we need you to be here. Like, we have some cars. And I'm just kind of like, everyone, I got no one to call in. They're like, well, we need these cars done. I'm like, crap. So it just so happens my first day back from the flu was a 30 degree day that was kind of rainy and wind gust up to 20 miles an hour. That was a fun day to work.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So guys, impressions of MTE 2020.
I loved it.
One word.
Love.
Hudson.
Busy.
Excellent.
Outstanding.
Go.
That venue absolutely rocked. My only complaint was we needed a little more concessions in the actual event area.
I didn't even realize that until you said that, John. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. I probably did not drink one thing all day long.
And that's why y'all got sick.
Maybe. We did
because y'all didn't get enough fluids, except for alcohol after hours.
Yeah.
Well, early on, and I do have to tell you, because we were reporting early on in our podcast that we were supposed to have a bar on each side of our booth, our playground. What happened was they just kept on selling booth space, and they were running out of space, and Pdr Tool Time Playground actually shrunk down a little bit, and they had to sell the spaces next to us as well.
Yeah, and then we were supposed to have even more, like even the limited space that we did have, we were supposed to have even more room because we were told we could go all the way back to the wall. Yeah. And then we start setting up, and then the convention center was kind of like, whoa. This firewall, you got to have a fire code. You got to have 8 feet off the wall. So we lost 8 feet by, 30 feet of space? So, yeah.
But overall, everybody was coming up and saying how much they enjoyed our booth. So I think we rocked it. People got
definitely lots of improvements to be made.
Yeah. Let's focus on the positive, though.
Well, there were not so much improvements as we had the number of cars for the booth space we were originally discussed.
Yeah.
Had we known the booth was going to get downsized to that, we would have only had 2 vehicles in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, the other thing, too, was what I really appreciated was everyone coming and playing in the playground and trying out the tools, because I was watching other people's techniques. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today with the tools that I got I'm going to be dropping a lot of tech tips that other people were showing me.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was weird. I was over here and I saw someone put some really gnarly dents and high spots in the Expedition, which, why not get an all black aluminum Expedition with laminated glass in the PDR playground? Why not?
Aluminum.
So I'm over here and there's these gnarly dents, and I'm over. I gotta clean these up. We can't. I know we got insurance on this thing, but we at least gotta like clean up some of this. So I'm over here just kind of doing my thing, and the next thing you know, I kind of stand up, I turn around, and there's like 6 guys with their video cameras out or phones out recording me. And it's kind of like, oh my guys, honestly, I'm not the guy you want to be recording.
Well, I tell you, I didn't get to see a whole lot going on in the playground because I was buried in my booth at the MTRX booth.
Yeah.
But I did manage to run over twice, once each day, and it looked like it was going awesome. Guys were buried with tools, practicing, testing out different things. And if the amount of cleanup I had to do on the hood of that little Honda was any inclination, there was a lot of tools used on that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the most part, people didn't get too sticky fingers. Some tools did grow legs and walk away.
Yep.
But for the most part, everyone was very respectful of the company's tools that were brought and left there for them to use. I do have a list of everyone that we need to thank for that, but go ahead and talk while I find that.
Yeah, there was about 4 inspection wedges that got walked off. You could have just asked me, and I would have given them to you, honestly. So
now I know.
Yeah, now you know. From day 1 to day 2, we lost 4 inspection wedges.
And the new edgy wedge.
And the new edgy wedge. Well, no, I don't think that was in there. I think they didn't bring that to they sold out of those before the show even started with the new wedge light.
There was an edgy wedge in our booth.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know there was a lot of tools there. So I mean, that's just amazing. The amount of, we had that full TDN card of all Blim tools.
Yeah.
No.
Now, Daniel, the new whale hook was in there. Did you get a lot of feedback from techs using that whale hook?
Yeah, it was great. The only bad thing was the whale hook sold out in 15 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I wanted one.
Oh yeah, I'll show you how it works, and they go, okay, great. I'll take a set. Sorry, they're sold out.
Dude, I tried those bad boys out, and it's the first time I've ever used an upper brace door tool, and I was like, have you ever just used a tool and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this just feels good. This just feels good in your hand, and it works. I'm like, crap.
Did you say the first time you've ever used an upper brace door tool?
No, that actually felt like when I used it, I was like,
I was same place as you, Vince.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's the first time he was happy with the first second of touching an upper brace tool. And I can relate.
Yeah, usually you're like, this will do.
Yeah, I can make this work.
Yeah.
And, okay, so that's what I kind of heard about more of it,
Yep. And the thing is that expedition. Do you have those tools with you?
Yes,
Daniel. Put those up so people can see what we're talking about here.
Showing these.
Yeah, right.
We're doing video.
None of us have these, by the way.
Yeah.
None of us have these. Daniel has them. That's it.
And it's got a little bit of a twist to it. And
show that offset.
To have as much power as it did, honestly.
Really? Yeah, that's what other techs and I discussed. We would be talking estimating, and then we would discuss some random tools. And we were talking about how much power you would have when you're up inside that upper door brace.
Well, the only upper door brace tools that I've ever used that have worked, and I keep them in my box, the only set that I have is from Blim, and I've had them for over 15 years, and they have the same twist and bend to them as that. Mm-hmm. So I was really eager to try those out, and yeah, they work just as well, if not better, than the original Blim Euro door hooks.
Yeah, and the whole idea, if you look at this, when you stick this in and next to the panel, you're really, when you're twisting the tool, a regular tool without this tip, you're hitting the side, and the more you twist, the more side you hit. So to me, the reason I did this was it just made sense that if you had a little tip on it, that you're going to be able to get a pit out better with this that a regular one wouldn't do.
Yeah. I would honestly argue that maybe you should make another one with a wider head for, those upper door braces that actually gap out a little bit,
Yeah, we talked about that. And
so That might be another
definitely
option.
a possibility.
Is there a difference between the blue handle and the red handle? Or are they both the same?
Left and right.
Left and right.
Yeah.
Wait, left and right. It's an interchange. It's an exchange. You can change the handle.
No, not on the. It doesn't matter on the left side doors. You need the angle and the kick of that tool to be different than the right side.
You can't
doors.
The curl. It needs to curl the opposite way.
Yeah. And the only reason we struggled with the question if I should put a ratchet handle on it or not, and the only reason I did was to avoid a B pillar or just get your wrist in the right position, so you just had better ergonomics.
No, I think almost all tools should almost just always be interchangeable handles now.
With an upper brace tool, you're pulling up, and that's releasing the handle. That's the only thing I didn't like.
Well, PDR Finesse has one where when you pull up, it
locks. And that's what my PDR door tool is from PDR Finesse. I made sure that when I pull up, because I normally go down past my dent and then come back to it with my tool, that I want my handle to be locked solid when pulling up.
So when I pull up, this is how I hold the handle.
Okay.
My fingers. So you're kind of
squeezing it together.
Yeah. So are we getting into this? Let's just go.
You're up. You're up, Hudson. What'd you get?
All right. So I got quite a few things, quite honestly. I went and bought this before they sold out. This is I think it's called the Little Tiny, or let me see here.
Take the condom off.
Big Tiny.
Take the condom off.
Oh, take the condom off. There we go. Sorry about that. So.
Ooh, that's got a sharp tip.
It's very sharp. It's like a miniature MT rod, but
1/4 inch stock.
It's smaller than 1/4 inch.
Smaller. Man, this is. I mean, there is
incredibly strong.
Very strong.
Very very stout for how thin it is. Like, I don't even.
Now, where's your key use for that tool?
Any hole I can fit it into. Probably bottoms of doors,
right around the door
sides
handle.
of doors. I think that this is going to potentially fit in some holes for where the weather stripping is on the edge of doors.
Because it looks like it's like 3/16.
Nope, it's definitely smaller than that. How about I pull up the link and I just tell you?
So
that would be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing as how you have that link. Now, I'm going to try to moderate this mostly because I didn't get squat around the show this year. So, while Hudson's looking that up, Vinny.
Oh, it's 3/16. Sorry.
I talked to Bonnie. Bonnie, she said that she brought 80 of those to the MTE, and all of them sold out almost immediately.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Vinny, what did you score?
Okay. I scored quite a few things, but I'm going to go in a row because there's a few things that I need to show you. So first of all, the Trifecta Gun, which I had beforehand, this was the biggest selling tool at MTE this year. They sold over 200 of them between
Holy crap
and Unlimited.
Okay, wow.
Those were the only two bits that were carrying it. Well over 200 were sold. So I am going to heat this up now. That's eco mode, and that's high, right? So this is not hot yet, right?
All right. It is 10:31 a.m.
Okay.
Mountain Standard Time.
Mountain Standard Time. So that's number one. I'm just going to leave that there and let someone else go. It's $140, and the adapters for the batteries are $40, depending on which battery system you're running. Ryobi, you don't need one.
Yeah. So it starts with Ryobi.
Yeah.
And then you can add Makita, Milwaukee, and DeWalt, correct?
Bosch.
And Bosch. Perfect.
And there's nothing sexy about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's nothing sexy about that.
Daniel, what do you got? What's your next up?
Well, I'm going to go with.
Come on, get ready for this. Come on. Let's go.
Kiko. So Kiko's new ergonomic handle with the paddle, forearm paddle. I got the the Ultra attachment,
Ultra
on
adapter
release, and I'm really excited about testing this thing out.
Here, stand up and show us how for people that don't know. Stand up, show.
How are you going to fix a dent with that? Because I don't understand. You with your forearm?
Yeah, you've got leverage this way.
So it's in the
so
door.
if you had an L-shaped rod hanging off of that, you're using your elbow, your entire body weight,
rather than your wrist,
arm, just instead of just the wrist.
Yeah.
To push that.
This is going to save your wrist. Now I've got an attachment coming from Ultra, so it's kind of like a question mark. So it's going to come out of here, and then it's going to come going this way, and then it'll have a quick release here. And so it'll go forward, which for motorcycles, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
And now I'm no longer pushing with my shoulder like I do and my wrist with the motorcycle. Now I'm pushing with my whole body, basically. I can lean my whole body on it and just kind of squat down on it.
But the majority of us do not do motorcycle tanks. Okay.
Right. But let me give you another use.
PDR. How is that going to be used on your daily PDR?
Oh, when you put this down a door, dude,
that's what
and you lean on it, you're going, oh my God, I got so much power.
Yeah.
Especially on a truck door, you know.
Yep.
And then this is adjustable. So you can you can hear it.
You're going to have to make me a believer out of that one. I think it's more of a novelty thing myself.
I think
once
box
you get older,
sides. Box sides.
Box sides
actually is where Christina and I talked about this and that exact tool, because with her competing in the Dent Olympics, the tag team, we had a big, hard, aggressive dent through the body line on a box side. Now, as a smaller person, Christina's not a big person with a lot of upper body strength. She had to be in the box of that truck, bracing her body so she could push with her full body against the tool to get the strength that she needed. That is exactly how that tool would come into play. When I do a beat box side and I'm down through the top, you're already using your whole body to press on the tip of that tool. And that will just give you that much more leverage to keep off of that pressure off your wrist.
So here's my prediction. This is the beginning. And you're going to see a lot of tool companies starting to come up with innovations. It's going to be the years of handles. I think you're going to see other companies take this, and this is a platform to launch off of.
Well, that I can see. But I work upside down. There's no way that's working.
Yeah.
No.
You don't work upside down all the time.
You can adjust it. You can adjust it so you can still push like that.
All right, John, that's something?
Okay, so the only thing I acquired out of this whole thing was the flip tip from PDR Geek. And you can only find these on eBay right now. And we're going to put up the eBay link. Now, you might have to do some searching because it might not be around. So the idea behind the flip tip is it uses the same collar that our impact drivers use. So you're just sliding it up to release, and then you can just keep flipping the tip around. And then you have the different, so one handle, and you have 4 different types of tip between the root beer. We've got peak, we've got steel. And I used this when doing it because it was the only tool I had. I used it when cleaning up the cars in the playground, and I liked it. Now, probably going to reshape one of these, the plastic tips, a little bit more to the tip style that I like.
Sharper.
But yeah, I like it a little sharper. But
and what are you going to reshape that on, Vince? What do you think he'll reshape that on?
It'll be a bit of my bench grinder work.
So, did you see what I tagged you in, John? With what was the culprit of why you had to do so much knocking down with this bad boy?
I'm good to go, by the way, with the glue gun.
Your glue?
Yeah.
Put on your
That was 5 minutes. It is 10:36 right now, and he's oozing out glue.
It actually warms up in 3 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
So, but still less than 5. That's awesome.
But John, did you see what I tagged you in the video to show who made all those high spots in that hood that you had to clean up?
Oh yeah.
Dave Streen.
So, one other thing. Who's the guy that gave us those?
PDR Geek.
I know his name. It's on the back.
Okay, hang on here. I've got the name.
Super cool, dude.
Ramon's Figueroa.
Yeah, Ramon, thank you for sending it or giving us those. We'll be checking them out here and get back to you.
I think it's a good idea.
So.
It kind of reminds me of the very first VIP. You know, it's a little
rough, but it's evolved.
But it's going to evolve.
I definitely have to change the faces up because it's just it's the same. It's just as broad, but just different materials.
Yeah. Yep. And if that broad rounded tip is the tip style that works for you, then perfect. But it's material that you can easily work with.
Okay, so moving on. I had the pleasure of Stanislav. He is the guy that came up with the hammer, right? That Karsformer's hammer. He's Karsformer's. It's the beautiful. Look at that
Damascus
steel hammer. Right. And I found out that he was also partners or the founding person of Glexo. He came up with the cold glue and also the pushing tips for him as well. So it's really hard to understand some of his English, but he's a super nice guy. And what he did was he gave me some tech tips. So you guys have seen the video. I haven't really released the video, but this is a 3-pound CarePoint slide hammer. It's 3.3 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super lightweight.
Super lightweight. So what they do is in Russia, they put the Glexo or cold glue right on a tab, right? A regular tab. And what they do is, this is why I wanted to heat up my gun first, is they actually glue the tab in place into the tip.
Into the lightweight slide hammer.
The lightweight slide hammer, okay? So now, once that dries, you're ready to go glue pulling with Glexo or cold glue or whatever you're going to use, whatever cold glue system. So that's it. That's good to go. And this system is going to work excellent when you're doing soft, small dents. What he showed me is you get all the imperfections out and kind of make it into a cone area like that. And then you push that into the dent, and you got to make sure your slide hammer has a long throw on it too, because it's the actual slide. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the actual throw of that is going to pull those small little soft dents out. And we're talking time-saving stuff. You're not dealing with hot glue heating up or anything like that. Your tab is now set in here. Look at that. That's awesome. It's not going anywhere. So
you were taking out full dents
in
a car that you showed a video to us.
Yes.
And
in the quarter panel.
I was like, okay, I got to test this out. Now you were doing it on a S2000?
Yeah, it was a Honda S2000, which, it's
lightweight steel.
Lightweight steel, yeah.
So I wanted to test your whole tip-tick there on, I had a Chevy bedside. I had just a normal door or light ding in it. It was perfect for that type of situation. And it worked, but I had a problem with the glue kept on coming off the tab.
Okay.
And I wrapped it around, but it was still coming off. Do you got any tricks?
Here's my trick, because I tried it on a smooth tab, a Kiko smooth tab, and it was coming off the tab. So it does not come off of tab. This is a Burrow tab from Anson. And if you saw what it looks like.
They got that waffle pattern.
It has a waffle pattern to it, and it's textured. So it stays on that, no problem at all. Okay. Also, here's the big kicker, guys. Don't clean your dent with alcohol. You clean it with your wool polishing pad. So you're going to prep that dent by just taking the pad and going over it. Just squirt a little water on your pad. You probably have some residual polish on it. And clean off that dent really quick. Just go zip, zip, zip. Wipe it down. And you're going to get a better grab with that than you did with alcohol any day of the week.
Really? Now, are you saying polish or compound?
Polish, compound, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Polish and compound are virtually the same thing almost.
Yeah.
One's lighter than the other, I mean. But,
yeah.
Mind blowing.
But you're not polishing the whole car either, guys. Just remember that. You're just running that pad just over the dent, couple of quick seconds, and then making your pulls.
And that's how they do it in Russia. And that, Stanislav, he was kind enough. It was really broken English, and I didn't understand him. But once he started showing me what he was doing in the playground, it was like, oh crap. I don't know if we've been doing it wrong, but we've been doing it different, and their different is better than what we're doing. So we need to adopt what they are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Hudson's.
Just get something ready, Daniel.
Boom. All right. So Mr. King Garrison at Metal Medic, he gladly gave this to me. I was over there checking out his tools because he's got some tools with the teardrop handles, some hammers I was looking at. And he's made a slight adjustment to the teardrop where it dips in a little bit more, and I wasn't liking the feel of it, but they still looked really nice and things like that. So here's the difference with this thing. So this, I don't know if I can show it. It's got like a different seating in it. And this is what I could tell he's kind of proud of. He feels this is going to be the future. There is no rubber grommet. Would it be a grommet? What do we call it? O-ring?
O-ring.
No O-ring on this. And when you put it in here, it's in there. It's not like you got to...
Okay, so you showed us a stepped recess down to the threaded area. Now, is it hitting the sides of that tip to put that little bit of pressure on it?
Not on the outer. There's maybe a fraction of a millimeter between this one. I don't know what it is exactly. I think down further in it does. It hugs it.
Okay.
But I don't know what it is. But that technology there, I think he's onto something.
Because that tip doesn't come loose.
No. So I used it, and we're gonna have to deal with the baby hand jokes or whatever. But I mean, he said, it's a big hand. He's like, why are we trying to hit such a small, look at the difference between how big that is. This is your standard, like here's the that size and this size. So you can see the difference of the head, the striking head. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is just not as comfortable to hold, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to add another tool I got, which are the crown jewel from Pdr Tools, their attachments, which is a really soft rubber. And I'm going to take that bad boy and I'm going to sit it in there. And once again, you can feel it bite. Like it bites on there. It's not going to come unseated. So he's onto something there. I don't know. But
what do you think of the girth of that thing?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. With this fine tip, I felt like it was too much. So I'm probably going to take this big guy right here, and every once in a while, I'll do some crown work with a hammer. Yeah. And I'm thinking this might become my little go-to. I haven't got to actually try it. When I did try this tool with the
you broke it.
With this tip.
Yeah.
Right here, I felt it was just a bit too much.
I can see when you're doing a crown, because you really move the hammer and tap down a lot when you're doing a lot of crown work. So I can see where that bigger striking surface would really come in. Because I can't tell you how many times I've whacked my hand with a big crown tip like that on a smaller tap down. So I agree there, but for my basic hail, man, that little one that I can hold between two fingers and do a quick rapidy wrap.
I don't think this is going to be for everyone, but I'm going to give it a shot with this, and I'll let everyone know. But I think the talking point on this one is that seating he has in it. Man, I wish I could
take a high res.
You have to see if you can
picture of it, and we'll post it.
Yeah. So there's something going on in there that is different than anything else, to where I don't need anything on here to keep it from becoming loose.
Right.
Huh?
That's the one booth I didn't go to, and I had it mentally in my mind to go there and meet them and talk to them, because they had a few things in their booth I thought, or that I saw them post before the show.
And this was something, since we're already I already showed it. But the Crown Jewel pack here, I got really excited about that because
you sold out of them.
Yeah, I got the last ones actually, and I was super excited about it. And so these rubber tips, I think he doesn't make the actual rubber, but he's repurposed them for us in our industry, and he's got 3 different sizes here, and they're actually really, really nice, and they move. I finally got to use it because I bought this.
Oh yeah.
So I bought the 17-inch one,
That's
red.
I have.
And I didn't really understand the hype until I used it, quite honestly. And
Nice.
What you'll note, I work on a lot of Rolls Royce, and Rolls Royce front fenders get lots of like very subtle. It's almost like the mechanics are just like leaning their elbows into it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And this right here, and have you ever gone and you just hit something just a little bit too hard, and you're like, crap, now I actually have to freaking glue pull? I don't think you're going to get that with this. Like this thing, movement. I used it for 2 days so far, and every single time I use it, I'm like, oh yeah, oh baby. And I didn't get the hype until I bought it myself. So Pdr Tools, the Crown Jewel hammer, 17-inch. It's a solid carbon. It's not a tube like all other ones, so it has a little bit of a different feel to it. So it's
Chad nailed it.
Yeah, I still have the original prototype from last year when he gave it to me in MTE, and I use it all the time. It's replaced.
It's fantastic.
It's replaced a lot of stuff.
So yeah, and so if you don't want to go and buy another, because that was another thing, is I already have like 8 hammers on my cart, but I was like, no, I like it. It's red.
It's like the next generation Craftsman hammer.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
It is though. It's like the other Craftsman hammer. It has interchangeable tips on it. I don't know if you ever had the big one. I have a big yellow one that has brown, red, yellow, and a metal tip that you change on the backside.
Oh no, I don't have that one. I
we
just have
use that for crowns all the time. The brown one was really soft, and it's probably about the same durometer as these. And I did a little video on it actually. I haven't released it yet, but I'll show that out here pretty soon.
My only negative about this is I'm not as big of a fan of how tacky this one is.
The ball.
Yeah, because whenever I hold my hammers, I have a loose hit, and I like to kind of let it like bounce.
Yeah.
I use these fingers as a fulcrum point, and I'll pop, pop, pop.
You have sweaty.
You want a little tech tip?
Give me some tech tip, baby.
So call up your buddy Hayes Freeman, get some of those handles that he has, and
put it on there. But that doesn't fix the ball issue.
No, he wants the ball issue.
But you know what it does? So
fresh ball
where the red part is. So the handle only goes up to the edge of the red part, and so you have that gap, and one of your fingers fits in the gap, and it feels really good that way.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Okay, let's stay on the theme of hammers. Seeing that Hudson. Let's stay on hammers right now.
Okay.
All right. About hammers.
Okay.
Get the hammers out of the way.
Okay.
We're gonna geek out on like each one of us on all the hammers.
Who else has a hammer?
I got 3.
Oh, okay. You got the VIP.
Daniel?
Got 3. Got the VIP.
Oh, everyone's got the VIP.
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else talk about the VIP.
Look at that Brazilian.
I got this one from Hail Chasers.
I got that one too. I left that at the shop because I know you were going to show it.
And I set it up with the edgy knocker and pasty, which is fantastic. You guys have to get these tips. I on my hammer, I'm running the metal knocker with the black pasty. That's my go-to.
But that's on a heavier hammer.
Yep. And then this is how I have it set up here, and that's a VIP.
Is that VIP? I think that might be Metal Medic.
No,
it's VIP. I didn't see any clear VIP.
I think
it's a prototype.
One thing to note on the VIP, if you look here, one of them is angled down. Okay, so this VIP here is straight. This one here is angled down.
Yeah,
and yours is kind of like that too on your Delron one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, on the peg leg.
I thought they both angled down.
There.
He put a green O-ring on mine to show which side
angled down. So when you're working a rail, you have a little bit of a kick there that's going to help you out a little.
Well, I like what you put on yours.
Oh, I put the wrap on it. It was a little.
There you go. I like that.
Over the ball.
Yeah.
But I took the tequila.
That's sexy.
Wrap.
You know what Peter should do?
Right up there.
He should make the other side go up a little bit.
That would cause me a lot of issues.
Well, because sometimes you have to take your hand off of the panel and hit like that. But then this is for when your hand is actually, the other side is for when your hand's resting on the panel. And then whenever I have my hand off the panel.
Here's another little tech tip. See that little burn mark?
Mm-hmm.
I took it to the bench grinder.
Yeah.
And I flattened it. So you can lay this on the panel and then you can just bounce it while this is resting on the panel.
Now, I do have to tell everyone, if you are a Craftsman hammer guy, you're going to love the VIP one, because for me, it feels, that's what's natural to me is wood in my hand. You know, I like the wood in my hand for some reason. Don't get me wrong. I love other blending hammers, but when I get some wood in my hand, man, I feel right at home.
Killing me, Smalls.
I'm never rooming with you again. I thought that was a dream.
I thought that was a dream.
So back over to Stanislav with his next tech tip, based off of his hammer, his Damascus steel, Karsformer's beautiful Damascus steel hammer.
It's like a work of art.
It is. Excuse me, I still have a cough. So anyways, here's the deal. I found out they call it the Mexican style of blending, and then there's the Brazilian style of blending, where they go like this. They hold it like a pencil, right?
It's like, do you play heavy metal or jazz?
Exactly. Are you David Grohl or
what's the yeah?
I don't know any jazz drummers.
So it turned and I didn't know this. I didn't know that us Americans are the ones that we're outstretched like this.
Well, for me, I like to be far away from my dent.
Yeah, me too. To get
hey, Vince, turn your mic towards you.
Yeah, sorry. To get the full scope of it. I'm getting really animated because we're video. So, us Americans, we're all the way over here, blending like that. Brazilians on the rails, they're like this.
Huh.
So the way that this is designed, it's designed for Americans and Brazilians. So they could actually, the Brazilians, they choke up on it.
Huh.
They do like a reverse grip. And
interesting.
That rhythm going. It was really interesting. So I learned a lot from Stanislav. I love the fact that he gave me this hammer. I did not pay for it. I would have paid $325 for it because it's a beautiful hammer. In fact, send me a bill for it.
I used it a little bit. I will say this: whenever I was using I was trying to knock down some really aggressive highs on that aluminum. That's definitely not for any like aggressive highs on aluminum. That's not your hammer.
No.
It was not moving the metal because of how broad the heads are.
Yeah.
So I will say that it's probably better on steel.
So I've got Carbon Tech's. I got Todd's Zimmerman's hammer. This is made for him, and I put a different tip on it though.
Now, what's the weight on that?
It's heavier. It's heavier. It's probably twice as heavy as all the ones that we just showed.
Okay.
Because it's stainless steel. So for a small hammer, you got more weight. So if you like heavier weight, this is the hammer you want. Then you can see I put the Hayes Freeman handle on mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a bunch of these and I cut them up and I throw them on everything. But where I use this and with the VIP, I use it as an extension knockdown more than I use it as a blending hammer, to be honest with you. I like that extension knockdown kind of feel. And this thing is absolutely perfect for that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do you have any other hammers you want to go over or no?
Oh. Well,
No?
my hammer.
No. What about
144s sold
yeah.
out.
So. What about tips? So I got my sweet new tip holder.
Wow.
Oh,
Where
that's
did you
nice.
get that?
Wow.
Yeah. Who makes that?
I got this out of the Home Depot urinal.
It smells minty fresh.
Yeah. No.
right.
So if you see this, guys, it
How thick that looks like it's like 3/4 of an inch thick.
It's about half inch.
Half inch.
Half inch?
So anyways,
3/8, I think.
Let's see
Something like that.
how good this is. Upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So it's
pull
got a bunch
a
of
tip
little
out and put it back in.
Pull a tip out, put it back in. Okay.
Yeah. It's easier when it's on a flat surface.
So these are prototypes. We're going to be playing around with the sizes.
It actually goes in and out easier than a magnetic tool holder. So I like it. I'm probably going to cut mine into pieces.
Who makes that?
My last resort.
We're gonna have them. Basically, we're gonna be having them all. I gave them to all the manufacturers. So basically, everybody agreed to carry them that I showed it to, and so me and Vince will be working on trying to get that together.
So what name does that have?
We haven't come up with one.
Oh. So
write into us if you have a name.
Our listeners can't look it up by name, huh?
Kind of has.
They just got to call it the
pattern.
The urinal pad.
Hey, can you make these yellow so they look like little honeycombs?
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
Now, who's making those? Daniel, you said we. So is that
me and Vince,
Daniel Grom?
Me and Vince are working on it.
Yeah. All right. There we go. That was the important piece of information.
Now, color-wise, Vince knows about colors. Can you make yellow?
I can make, any Pantone color. We can make any Pantone.
It needs to be the honeycomb, the beehive, the tip hive.
So let me know what your ideas for names are.
So since we're talking about, did y'all get any new tips?
Everyone loves the my green for the Magnatech mat. Probably the most sold out. I've sold so many of the green ones. It's crazy. So I'm thinking,
we're going to probably go with green then.
Yeah.
Told you. God's color.
Yes, God's color.
But, if you did make it in yellow, you could call it the honey hole.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're going to get some.
Yes.
Yeah. The honey hole.
Kind of like that.
I got now, Peter. I was out.
Green one there, John.
What?
Sweet. That would be the second item I got from MTE.
I went and bought these sets. I haven't got to use them yet from Peter with VIP. Yeah. So I bought the Black Mamba and then the Battleships, and it looks like they're all the same size, but they're just different plastics. So I bought those because I wanted to play around with the different types of plastics.
Yeah.
These look a little bit like the dead-on Dent Tools plastic, kind of gunmetal gray. And then this is a deep black. And then I bought this little guy here, which is his, it's like an R4.
Yeah.
I can't even get that off.
But apparently the tip doesn't fall off at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will say this, the VIP does not.
Because that's his blending tip that's like that. It's almost like an R4.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that.
So it looks like this.
Ah,
exactly.
Okay, so it looks a little bit like this, and you can take your cherry cap and put it on there.
So those are the stand. Go ahead, Daniel.
I've been using that as just a steel blending tip. When you get a little bit softer paints, you're divoting that paint a little bit with the regular VIP, and that one doesn't.
And those are just your plain cherry caps, right? Not a special, not custom?
Yeah, that you get from Dent Craft. Nothing. Okay. Unlike, before I moved to that, like he did pass me the Hedgehog. And I've been seeing a couple of, have y'all seen the experiments people have been doing with this?
I've been following David Pinto's experiments with it.
So David Pinto and I think Jim Mitchell, they both did an experiment they took some like a tip like this and like just really made some aggressive sharp lows, and then they used this and a dolly technique, and they're getting the similar results on both, but this is chewing up the metal a little bit more. So I look forward to really trying it. It's definitely sharp, like you could push into it. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's the Hedgehog. It's supposed to be a metal shrinking.
It's not
okay.
really
I'm glad you brought this up because I want to talk about this because I have the Glexo and the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem with these is you have to have the right angle to be able to hit the panel. So I told Peter to make a round one. So he came up with a round one, and
that just looks medieval. I got to be honest,
right?
Yeah.
And yesterday was the first time I got to use it, and I was I was very, very surprised on how well this worked.
Surprised can we talk?
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, can you do that into a door? Now it looks like you're on a normal door tool, so that's one you would be able to.
Half-inch hole.
Yeah.
And that was the main idea. But you can side load this thing.
Right.
And so here's what I find so far.
And that's what, Daniel, you're not the only one that was telling them that. I was telling them that. We were all telling them.
Yeah. It's just a natural way to go.
Yeah.
I think.
On a big stretch door dent, I think that thing would be pretty badass.
I was working on a door dent on a Chevy truck right on that soft body line, 3/4 of the way down the door. And here's the couple things. I don't really think it's shrinking metal.
It's personally. Not me. I don't think so.
And I don't think that's the way we should think about it.
Yeah.
When I was pushing it just as like a regular tip, it was pushing very much like a sharp tip was, without the downside of getting little peaks. And it felt the same and was spreading it out. And then I had a little section where the dent, honestly, where I was on it was a little bit chewed up. And you know how your tip will keep sliding into troughs, and the outside of the dent had a little tiny river, and I couldn't get the tip on there. I stuck this thing in there, and it bridged that and took out that river really quickly, but it also left a nice little, I was able to leave a nice little golf ball pattern in the orange peel.
Okay.
And made it look really uniform, looked really nice, and finished it off really well.
Okay. Now, are you finishing the dent completely with that, or do you need a different tool to help finish?
No, I went start to finish on one dent with this, and was really happy with it. Sweet. And then the other upside of it is traction. You know, you're not going to be slipping around. If you got a slippery panel, man, this is probably your go-to.
Now, would you say a person should hit the backside of a dent when you use something that aggressive, maybe with some sort of rust proofing? Yeah,
I'm in California. There's no rust.
I mean, I'm in the Midwest, so yeah, I would probably put some rust proof.
That's more of a question for you guys, not us in California.
It doesn't matter. We should be replacing the E-code anyways if we damage it. That's my position statement on that.
You know, I think you do more damage, obviously, when you're dragging a tool or, you know, kind of rolling the tool or something like that. And if you're doing a straight push, I think there's very minimal.
Okay, moving on.
I got another tip from Edgy Tools, and it looks very similar to what he's had in the past, but these are much deeper, and it comes with a different. What's the fancy word? Durometer. So it goes
What's he calling these? I'm afraid to
this
ask.
one
looks like
is
like a dog's lipstick.
The Thumper. The dog's lipstick. Wow.
That's as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, that looks like my dog's lipstick.
I was going to call it the Maxim.
So, anyways, it goes on there pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I didn't have, since I was in the PDR playground, I didn't get to. One of my favorite things of MTE is getting to see what?
Is there a pink one? Sorry.
No, it's orange. There's orange, green, and black. But one of my favorite things to do at MTE every year is to see Dave Streen just in his element, kind of just explaining his tips and stuff. And his booth was crazy busy the entire time.
Always.
And I didn't get to watch him do his thing, which I missed. But so I didn't really get to have him explain this to me. He did hand this to me because he is a sponsor of one of our shows. So he hands us the new stuff to try out. And so, yeah, it's called the Thumper.
Okay. But honestly, if you guys have not made it by Dave Streen's booth and actually taken the time to let him explain the design of his tools, you really have to, because if there's ever any, well, I don't even understand that. Dave will give you 500 different ways in which you could perfect the use of that tool.
Yeah. It's so fun to watch him, like you said, because he is he's like seeing a koala bear in a tree or something.
Another thing that was at his. Oh, sorry, Daniel.
No, go ahead.
This was at their booth with Sal, paintless.com. And this little guy right here attaches to your attaches to your cart, and it holds your slide hammer.
Well,
I got one and I lost it. I think I left it in Chris Howe's van, along with some Kiko tips that I had.
Yeah.
So I tried to slide on the Kiwi hammer and the new Anson B&D slide hammer.
Too big?
The shaft was too big.
Oh, bummer.
But I spread it apart and made it work.
Wah, wah.
Oh, yeah, you could spread that, huh?
Yeah.
So anyways.
I love this industry.
So we got this tip. Is this a prototype or is...
I don't know if he's selling those things or not yet. I mean, he's sending us the prototypes, or he's sending them.
He was selling them at the show.
Yeah.
So that's from Dwayne.
Dwayne from Ding Tools, right?
Yeah.
Is it Ding Tools?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to use this yet, but I'm intrigued.
Me too.
Because it's a lot sharper than those other two tips that we just showed.
Do you know what those are in there?
They're metal.
They're
dollhouse pins.
They're dollhouse nails.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, they're for people who make like miniature dollhouses. They're dollhouse nails.
Wow.
And I think
are
that's
they sharp as heck, Daniel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The idea behind it is they retract as you're pushing on the dent. So
yeah, can you show that, Daniel?
The ones that are actually hitting the metal are the ones that are needing to hit the metal, and then the ones that, as you go to the outside of the dent and the dent gets shallower, the outside is supposed to retract, and you're not supposed to have to push as hard. Or
it does have a little give.
Okay. Who was? Someone made a video of it, and it pivots.
And it pivots, not a lot, but it does.
That's better than that's already an improvement on that kind of tip.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think we're getting really close to someone coming out with something really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I just love the innovation and the creativity that goes. I mean, this guy. How does he make this?
That's 3D printed.
Yeah.
How do you get the nails in there?
Through the bottom.
Okay.
If I
are you placing each one of those one at a time?
Yes.
Under a microscope or what? I'm just saying it's freaking pretty.
Oh yeah, it's impressive.
You're gonna make me drive across town to go over to Dwayne's shop and have him show me how those are assembled.
There you go.
I am
on a mission.
Go.
Well, I mean, what's the wrench? What's a wrench that it's a crescent wrench, right? Where you have like little twisty and you can adjust the size. A crescent wrench, right?
Yeah.
I have a buddy who has 3D printed a crescent wrench where it works like in a 3D printer, and it can adjust it, and it's a little plastic crescent wrench that was 3D printed. It's crazy. You can do moving parts and everything.
So crazy. That's crazy.
All right, Vince, what do you got?
All right, I got
I got one of those.
a scanner.
Sexy.
I bought one.
That's the 906 BT that you're holding up, correct?
Yes, the 906 BT.
What is
Is
that?
that the least expensive one or the more expensive one?
More expensive.
Okay.
This is the more expensive one. The reason why I have this one is because it has full module control. So I could go and cover all the modules and make sure all of them are covered. I've been getting a lot of calls from guys.
It's a module.
Like the ABS module, the door card module.
It's anything that gets plugged into that would control anything else, every aspect. So the switches now in, like, even your power window switches are a little mini module on cars these days.
Yeah. So I have this one because it covers all of them, and I think that's more going to be the future. This one covers ADAS as well, so it has a little ADAS logo up there. Mm-hmm. So the smaller unit does not cover ADAS, which is fine for most scans that you're going to be doing if you're doing pre and post. But if
that's what I got
doing work, and you'll be fine for it, Hudson. The cool part that I found out about talking to the Autel rep that was there is that you could see that I have this little arrow that says update, right? And then it tells you what the update was. These update all the time, unlike Snap-on or the other brands where they come out quarterly or yearly with their updates. If there's an update, they don't wait. They put it up there right away and you're able to update it. So your first year is covered under warranty and updates are free, and tech support. I've already called tech support a few times, and just because I'm an idiot. And all that is covered for the first year, part of the initial cost, and then it's just the updates that you're buying every year. And they don't have like a welcome back fee. So like Gene Fetty called me the other day and he's like, I haven't updated my Autel in 18 months. He doesn't have to pay for like 2 years of updates. He just has to pay one time to get caught up to where he is. Where like Snap-on, they charge you a welcome back fee. So if you waited like 2 years and then updated your scanner, they're going to charge you for those 2 years that you missed.
Oh, that's BS.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I've used the 906 BT and I have the 808 MX. And for you guys that are wanting to know, the 906 can do so much more that it can be, if you're brand new to scanning, if you're not a computer guy, it can almost be a little bit overwhelming to get figured out. Yeah, and it was for me as well. Whereas the 808 is more of a plug and play. You throw it in, it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You did your scan, you can do stuff. However, when you do get buried into and learn more about the 906, you're moving seats, you're opening and closing sunroofs, hatches. I mean, you're controlling the entire automobile from the driver's seat, basically. Okay. And you can do it from outside of the vehicle.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
So if a physical switch in the car for a window that can't roll down is not working, would you be able to roll it down?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to have to test that because I do have one power window that is not functional on my 05 Grand Cherokee, and I didn't test it.
My liftgate on my Highlander is broke, and I was making my Highlander liftgate go up and down from the.
I wonder if it would work. If it would work on one thing that pisses me off the most is I've been working on a Chevrolet Hail car, and in the body shop will R&I all the doors, all the door panels, and you have to reconnect every freaking door panel to put the windows down.
Yeah,
I wonder if I can just plug. Not on mine, but on the 90 whatever.
I will give you this. Yeah. In the time it takes you to do that, it's probably faster just to plug in each door panel and roll the windows down.
No. Because these guys like to hide the freaking door panels somewhere in the body shop. They got some top secret place where they keep all their door panels,
All right.
And then you have to hunt for them.
Now, that we'll hit one final point on these scanners. Setting up your email on those Alltel scanners can be a bit tricky. I'll probably make a post as soon as I can get caught up on some stuff on how to do it. I know, Vince, you and I talked about it a little bit as you were setting yours up. You were having a little bit of issue. I had a massive amount of problems, and I learned a few things about Gmail in the process. So I'll try to get a video put together in the next couple of weeks about that.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, next.
Okay, anything else? I'm tapped out, guys.
I've got a couple more.
Oh, wait, we have a couple more.
I got a bunch more.
All right, Daniel, go.
Okay, another Kiko invention, or
the power puller
adapter. Basically, they took their lifter, put an adapter on there so you can use a drill and make it power. And this is my favorite lifter that they came out with years ago, and they keep repurposing this for all kinds of stuff, which I love.
So you can take those feet off?
Yes. So I've got, these are new to me. I didn't have these. Everybody's telling me, oh, wow, you didn't have those. Yeah, I didn't have these.
That's the crease killer feet.
Yes.
Crease killer feet, and there's a narrow side and a wide side. This is the wide side. I can pop it off, turn it around, and you get a narrow for the dead centers. What I've been wanting this forever, but what I like about it is the compact size. It's not some big, huge bridge system or anything like that. You know, when this comes apart, fits in your toolbox easily. So, and
take it
very
apart.
simple to set up.
Now, is that a prototype, Daniel?
It's probably 90%. They have a pass-through lock that is 3D printed, and so yeah, somewhat. But it's designed for this snap-on screw gun specifically, and the reason why is because it has a toggle, and the toggle is also feathering, so you can go fast or slow, and then it also has a clutch. And where the clutch comes in is if you want a light pull, you put it on a 1, and you'll hear the clutch hit. And then if you want a super heavy pull, you just put it on the drill setting, and then you pull, squeeze that trigger. What you're getting with this, in my opinion, is it almost feels like a slide hammer kind of a pull when you put it on the drill setting. It's really shocking the metal. And so it's kind of like marrying a slide hammer to your lifter.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying using this thing right now.
Cool.
Kelly. Vince.
Okay, so I'm not going to show all of them, but I'll show the set, and then I'll move on. Okay, so they were not for sale, but they were doing pre-orders, and which is really weird because Anson never, ever, 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 ever does pre-orders that I know of. But they were pre-ordering some tools that I've had these tools now for about 2 months, refining them, and they're called the Door Lords. They're Mike Toledo inspired. There's 4 in the set. They're made by A1. And
I used those.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They were nice.
They're very nice. They're shaved. My inspiration with them came with how far up the shaft I wanted them shaved. So they're all shaved all the way up to about here.
Is that for yourself as well? Like, is that how far you shave up?
Yeah, I do like to shave them. Shave all the way up there. They're thicker diameter. And there's, me, I don't like flex at all. So they had to go with the thicker diameter tool. And then to get the shavedness, they shaved all the way up to the top.
Now, is that starting with a 3/8 diameter and then shaving it down? What's...
these are smaller than that. Prototypes, so it's actually, it's going to be 3/8. This is not a 3/8 one, though.
Okay.
The finished product will be 3/8.
That is, I didn't realize that was a prototype. I was using that to clean up some of the cars after the show, and I was like, oh, this is a really nice tool.
Yeah. So we've been working on these now for about the last 6 months. We thought we were going to have them in time for MTE, but we didn't, and they will be released this week, I believe, or over the next couple of weeks.
Those were nice.
Yeah, they're called Door Lords. Check them out.
Door Lords.
A set,
and it has the A1 adjustable handles on them.
A1 adjustable handles. You could put Viper skins on them. You could use the
Gorilla Grip.
Gorilla Grip. I would never really put the Gorilla Grip on the small one. I would go Viper skin or leave it like that. But on the bigger, longer tools, I would definitely consider the Gorilla Grip, or even better would be the B&D handle, which
that thing,
which none of us really talked about either. Those were really nice.
Yep.
All right. What do you got, Hudson?
So I got handed this Revolution Pdr Tools. So this,
I saw that. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
I've been seeing those getting posted.
Yeah. So basically, and it comes with a bunch of these little guys here. And
just screwed in place and push away.
Yeah. And I guess
backing plate cog.
Either the backing plate, but also one thing I was thinking of is like kind of if you had something that was a hole right on the edge, I'd put that on and then screw it in. And then what I have is like say here's the wall and it's just sticking out of the wall a little bit, and I would have like a little slot to
so you're not damaging.
So my tool isn't like going like
you kind of lock the bone of the tool in while you're pushing, and it doesn't one less area you have to control. Then you're only paying attention to the tip.
Yeah, and then this is even more complicated. And
have you used it yet?
No, I haven't had an opportunity to yet. But like in wide open fenders,
show the sides of that. Is that threaded on the sides?
Yeah, every single.
Okay, so you've got really an unlimited ability to mount that into anywhere.
Yeah, my concern is how strong the aluminum is.
It's
heat.
I mean, it's thick, man. I mean,
billet aluminum doesn't get stronger than that.
It's billet. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a half-inch.
That's
thick.
half-inch thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's impressive. So I look forward to really putting Revolution Pdr Tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
I think that's Jim Mitchell and Michael Casper.
Yeah, I think this was a brainchild of those two.
Yeah. Michael won part of the Dent competition, for anybody asking. I think he was second, third?
They were third on the tag team.
But do they get pushed? Never mind.
Because there was a whole snafu about the tag team competition. There was a mix up. So
yeah.
Okay. Moving on. I want to show you my new polisher, and this is made by Flex, and this thing is freaking amazing.
What kind of battery does it take? Is that Milwaukee?
What's that?
Is that Milwaukee battery?
No, it's their own battery. Flex.
Nope, I'm out.
Why?
I want everything streamlined.
Yeah. Well, tough. Don't be a baby.
All right. So is that a dual action buffer?
Not a big deal when you have a shop. But
is that a dual action buffer?
True. So it's got 3 attachments. And the way it works is you pull this. This is the long throw orbital. And now you want to polish.
That's nice.
And you're ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
And you have adjustable power here.
Yeah.
You have the battery indicator there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just pull the collar up. So now you polish.
Nice.
Now you need to take those scratch marks out, or the halos out.
Yeah.
And you switch those.
Right. Boom.
I like that.
It's awesome. Nice. It's awesome. I wish it took a different battery.
This thing is so friggin' torquey. I mean, I can bear down this with all my weight, and it still goes.
Still not stalling it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's nice.
It's compact, but you get basically 3 tools in one. And that's why I like it. My detailer has been stealing this from me, and every time I go to look for it, he's got it. He's using it.
And that's made by
hard
Flex.
to get right now, to be honest with you. And there's only one guy selling it. I'll throw up the link. But when they become more available, I would highly recommend one.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Is it your turn, Hudson?
I don't know. I'll go. Simple. Actually, here's a good thing to show how incredibly sharp this thing is.
As Hudson destroys his computer.
Right.
All right.
This is old news, but I finally got one, and I'm happy that I got it. It goes in the end of your carbon fiber rod by Dent stuff.
Yeah.
So when I'm working a hail car, I can keep this in the very end of my hail rod, and I still have my pushing tips here. And the one thing I don't like, the way I work on a hail car, I'm not a hail guy, but I like to use just one tool as long as possible. And I'll go all the way back across the roof with whatever that one tool is. And then I'll switch to the next tool. And so with this, I don't have to do that anymore. I can do underneath the braces. I can do underneath the braces while also not while pushing, but yeah, I don't have to switch out tools, so I can still use that. So I'm happy.
So that doesn't hit when you're using your other tips.
No, because it goes straight. It goes out the end, and then my tips.
I know, but you're working at an angle. You know what
I think
I'm saying?
it depends on how far out you are and how steep of an angle know that you have your fulcrum point set at.
Yeah, I keep my fulcrum point pretty as high up as I possibly can.
Gotcha.
All right.
So I got a couple stand liner tools. I love the cranes. Cranes are probably the number one stand liner tool that I use is cranes. And now they came out with the straight crane, which is
I have that and love it.
So I love all the cranes, but the straight crane is going to come in handy because there's a lot of times where that kick gets in the way.
It just gives you leverage where no other tool worked before.
Yes. And then I got this, which I don't even know what it's called. I tried looking it up and looking for a link.
Doesn't it look like the Loch Ness Monster?
Yes.
Yeah, that or like a meerkat popping up.
Call it Nessie.
Nessie, coming along the screen. Nessie. Oh, Nessie. Okay, so anyways, I got to do. I tried it the other day. It was awesome. It's going to be a little bit more selective as to where I will use it as opposed to the crane tool, where the cranes I'm using everywhere. Yeah,
All right.
Hudson.
Next, I got the Kiko Dead Centers. They now have in between sizes.
Yes, I got those.
So they've had like 5, 7, 9, and like 13 or whatever. And so I got some 6 millimeters and 8 millimeters to go in between. So I've got pop, 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 pop. And then I grabbed one of each of these to give them a try. The Tequila Cold.
Yes.
Cool temperature.
Cold, hot, and collision. So I plan on giving these. I'm hoping I don't have to use the freaking cold. I'm so backwards. I don't want to use cold glue anymore. Or cold weather glue.
Cold weather glue. Yeah.
Not cold glue. Tired of cold.
This is how I've been explained that the hot, cold, and tequila line of glue. You have your tried and true, and it's not working for the temperature that's outside. Grab that. You know, we all have our tried and true that we love, whether it's hog glue or tequila, turquoise and stuff like that, whatever, tab weld.
Yeah.
If that's not working and it's cold outside, grab the tequila cold and it will.
How did I not get a package of this?
I don't know.
Didn't ask.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even saw it. That's how
they
busy
gave
we were.
this to me because I bought a $600 scanner from them. That's why they gave me some glue.
That's right.
Craig was like, "You can have some glue. You bought a scanner." I'm like, "Thank you, sir." So what you're saying is Ansa needs to sell these inside like a little glass case of like break just in case.
All right, Daniel, what do you got there?
I picked up a stand liner tool. I thought was unusual and different.
That looks like a PDR finesse.
Yeah, kinda.
That looks just like the PDR finesse.
Not just,
but
pretty close.
Yeah, very similar.
I thought this was a little bit smaller and shorter.
It's shorter.
Yeah, you're right. You look right.
And that's what was different about it.
Okay.
I kind of like.
And
what's the handle? Okay. No, that's a good. I mean, I love that.
I used it down a door truck the other day, and it was beautiful. Awesome.
Okay, so
but I only got one. They only had one side. They didn't have a right and left.
Huh. Oh, weird. All right, I have the communion tools from Dent Reaper, John.
Yes, those are awesome.
One's blunt and one is sharp. Look at that.
Yep.
These suckers I'd used immediately down the door, and I am kicking myself for not. People are saying that these are copies of old Dent Gear tools. Well, I never owned the old Dent Gear tool, so I don't know. But what I do know is that these work, and they work down at the bottom of the doors. And once again, it's kind of the same design or same idea as what I had with these door lords. This sucker shaved all the way up the shaft, all the way to right about there. So. And they're very strong for what you need to do. Obviously, you're using it for leverage off of a brace or something like that. And it's plenty strong for what they are. I love them.
Really like them in quarter panels going down to the wheel well.
Down to the wheel well, yeah. Down to the dog leg. I got down to a dog leg from a panel with this.
Yeah. All right, my last one. It's not even a tool. It's an honorable mention. Because Dave's stream with his freaking catalog. Did you see this catalog he put out?
Very cool.
They've got like pictures of like other dent techs and like they're like with. Look at this. Look at Craig Reed's comment.
You can't. Why don't you just read it to us?
Yeah,
you can't. It's
comment.
No,
it's just
read it.
Yeah,
you can't read it. You know how like some people will use like text to make it look like someone's going meh. It's like using text lingo. It's Craig Reed. He said a bunch of nice stuff, but I couldn't understand a word of it. F's, love you, man. Hope this is exactly what you were thinking when you shared the design idea with me. like it's just like a bunch of just really great quotes from a good quality, and it's got almost every. I didn't realize how extensive of a catalog Edgy Tools had until you put it in a freaking actual catalog. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. And
I don't think I picked that.
Don't forget, Edgy Tools is the king of trinkets and other PDR doodads. They give you 15% off if you put in PDR TT 15 at their website, and that helps us out a little bit. So remember to go to edgytools.com and type in PDR TT 15 for 15% off.
Stephen Dyke posted a photo online of him taking the pirate peg leg and actually like photoshopped it onto his leg. And that's in the that's in there. It's just like I don't know. Honorable mention. Thanks, Dave, for taking the time to make something like this. He's not making money off that. I just thought it was really great.
That's a lot of work too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to do a shameless plug for the. Dang it, sorry guys. So my carbon hustle stick.
Yes.
So we finally got it all finalized and all finished. And this is the way I set it up with a grenade handle. Love the grenade handle for this. And the way I set mine up is it comes with this, but I got my Cam Auto stuff and I put it on the opposite side of the chain. And what it does is it balances out the chain. It makes it easier for you to adjust.
Daniel, you sent me home with that yellow piece, and I didn't know what to use it for.
Just for the Cam Auto pull.
Yeah, the hooks came off.
I don't have hooks.
I know. We lost them. The bolt came out, and I don't know where they went. So
thanks for.
I've got a set of Cam Auto coming to all of you guys. So
okay,
just hang on.
Daniel puts his junk in my. Yeah, I don't need this. I lost it. I just piece of junk.
I'm already at my bag limit.
Do with this.
Sent Ben's home with scrap metal. That's awesome.
Hey, but Daniel, Charles, the CEO, he's the CEO of Cam Auto, right? Charles on AOAUN.
Yeah,
I forgot. Anyways, he came over looking at your stick, and he was so impressed. He was like, "Hey, pose with this." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know if you want me being the one posing." So I'm like posing with the stick, and he got some photos of it. He was super impressed. So
yeah.
So right now, this is the only tool that's PDR related that will work with his Cam Auto hooks. Yep. And I got to tell you, dude, these right here are freaking amazing.
Yeah, you put that in my suitcase too. I didn't know what to do with it.
You'll see. I'll find you the hooks. But these are two of the tabs that I use all the time. And what I like about both these, see how they have these wings here? You heat this up and you can fold
like a pad
wings. But this one really, you can fold this over a 90 degree.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. For a wheel well lip.
Take the bumper off.
Yeah. And if you want, you can just glue one side if you want. But you can pull edges like you can't believe with this.
Yep. So. Yeah. Cam Autos, it's phenomenal pulling.
So we're going to, I put together, I talked to him, we're putting together, I told him which ones I use, and we're putting together a kit that will be sold at Carbon Tech.
Nice.
So. Was that his first time at, was that Cam Auto's first time? His second time?
Yep.
He always thought the PDR people hated what they did. And we met him at SEMA 2 years ago, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
And, we took the time to talk to him, and he was a really nice guy. But he's like, oh, you're PDR guys. PDR guys don't like me. And we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know what he was talking about.
I will say, one thing I've noticed between collision industry and PDR industry is I think PDR guys like their tools to be a little bit prettier and sexier. Like we kind of, and when you look at a Kiko tab versus you look at a Cam Auto tab, Cam Auto, there's nothing sexy about it. Like it's just kind of, it's totally utilitarian.
Yeah.
We don't get dirty.
Now, yeah, but let me add this on top of what you're saying there, Hudson. I'm a body man.
Yeah,
I learned how to do frame rack repairs in the very early 90s. Mm-hmm. We were welding our own plates on. We were bolting. So Cam Auto to me is sleek and sexy because it's such a drastic improvement of me cutting an old door panel apart to get me some pull plates and bolting my clamps together and pulling. So from the world that I came into on making drastic big damage pulls, Cam Auto is sexy, it's clean, it's phenomenal. And that's why I've been talking about them for a couple of years now.
That's awesome. Okay. Good perspective. Thanks, John.
Well, all right, Daniel, what's your last stuff?
Did you guys
I got that. I used it and I loved it.
I gave it away. I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
It's sexy.
It's just, we've all used wood blocks, but this is just nicer.
Well, Dentcraft has the same thing. Okay, Dentcraft has it, and it's in that white slippery plastic, and that's why I don't like using them.
Yeah. Yep. I still use them, but it's not going to be slippery like that.
So this has got a lot more traction on your tool, so your tool's not running away from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that actually wood
when
or
you
plastic?
take out a tail light? This is where you're going to use that.
I already used it on a Porsche Carrera on Thursday.
Yep.
All right, cool.
It was perfect.
And your last thing, Daniel? A skateboard?
Yeah, old man tire remover tool.
Yeah, so this is so you can take a tire on and off a car without struggling and hurting your body, but lining up the lug nuts. This is where this thing shines, and it's really cool. Small, compact. These sell for $120, and honestly, I'd put one in my wife's car if she had to take change out a tire.
Yeah.
But the guy actually he's working with one of the automakers. I can't mention it, but the automakers want to put this in the trunk of all their cars.
Really?
Nice.
What automaker still puts spares in their cars?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well,
the full size ones.
The thing is, taking tires off and bending over could be a pain in your back. And don't forget, if you have a pain in your back, you could go to CBD Direct, get your life back.
It works. I'm
oils are 25% off if you use the code PDRTT at checkout.
Yes. And we've verified that code does work, because my last order from them, it didn't. So we got that corrected right away. But I do order from CBD Direct, and I do take it daily.
Yes, me too.
Speaking of orders, did you guys know that you can go to one place and order all your tools?
What place?
You don't have to go a million places.
And who is that?
Anson
Pdr Tools?
Yeah, they sell everything.
Yep.
Everything you saw, pretty much you can probably buy there.
95% of what we showed today can be bought.
Go to one place, one basket, one credit card.
Yeah.
One van. Chris.
Call up say, I want a van, man. Bring the van to me.
Yeah.
And you can track that van.
Oh, yes. How can you track that van?
PDRcontractors.com.
PDRcontractors.com will let you know exactly where that van is at all times.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You know what stinks? I didn't get to go to the PDR Contractors get-together that they had.
We didn't get to go to anything. We didn't even go to our own beer fest.
I didn't get a beer at our own beer fest.
That's true. I'm the only one. I rushed out there because I wanted to see. We paid for some beer, and we didn't even. I got one. It
was gone in 15 minutes. 2 kegs.
Right. Now you know how my whole show went then.
Yeah.
Because that's the way my whole show was. I didn't get to see anything. I'm really jealous that you guys got to talk with all these tool makers that we got to showcase today. But overall, even though I didn't get a chance to go do a whole lot at MTE, I will say that this venue, the ability to find the venue from anywhere in the hotel, the fact that the restaurants, the bars, everything was so perfectly organized that I would vote this as 4 years now is all for me, but the greatest MTE I have been to.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're not going there next year.
No, but it will be back in 2 years, and the place that it's going to I heard is just as good.
Yeah, identical.
Hey, Vince, before you
keep on talking on top of me.
I'm going to. You're welcome. We need to give a special shout out to Robin Renstrom, John's wife. Well,
I'm trying to get to the special shout out for all the people that gave us tools for our PDR Tool Time Playground.
Oh, really?
So, that would be Edgy, Blem, Ultra, Mobile Tech Shade, PDR Finesse, Anson PDR, Dentcraft, Magnatech Mat, CarePoint, VIP, TDN Tools, Get a Grip, Lee Roth Signature Tools by B&D, Dent Tools Warehouse, Willie Quick Tools, Dent Reaper, Drew's Tools, D&E Lights, Stucky Tools, Cars Formers. And I might have missed some. If I did, I apologize ahead of time. All you guys.
Thank you.
Yes. For the raffles, the raffle was a success. Helped us finance our booth for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. That raffle was great. I've been getting nothing but positive feedback on that.
And now, Hudson, why was that raffle so successful?
Because of Robin.
And her bright pink wigs. Or
red. Said it was red. It was red. I thought it was pink.
Yep. And I'll say, from my wife's point of view, it was her favorite show because she got to run around and she really got to talk with a lot of the Dent guys and gals that she only sees at the show. She got to learn a lot about tools, discuss a lot of techniques for R&I. So she had a blast helping out at that Tool Time booth and is looking forward to it next year.
Yeah, dude, that was cool because she was actually talking to people about R&I and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Robin does all the R&I for John. So yeah,
so yeah, she got a chance to relate to techs like never before. So for her, it was her greatest show as well.
How about seeing Christina compete with her dad? How special was that?
That was pretty awesome.
I wish I saw it.
I got to see it and a little bit of it, and I was just, I could see the pride in Daddy's face, man. He was just proud daddy, Papa.
It was pretty cool. Ellie, who worked our booth for the first time, was sitting across watching it, and when I told her that was the first female to compete, she thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, awesome. We'll have David White. David White wants to come on and talk about the tag team competition, so we'll be having him on this week, and it will air the following week. So
nice
about that and how that went down. Okay,
cool. Any closing thoughts or?
I just want to say, Sheldon K over at Mobile Tech Expo, he did a fantastic job this year. He was very accommodating to us, and we want to thank him for everything he did for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. And anybody we forgot to thank, because there's a lot of people helping us.
I would like to drop kick in the nuts the person that did bring the flu to the convention. I had like 3 or 4 days of misery, and so did probably 2 or 3 dozen other people. And it went global. It was
Stephen Hamby, we got to give him a shout out. He stayed after, and he helped us clean up some of the dents on the cars. He helped us move things around, put stuff up. Stephen Hamby, thank you so much for Ambulicious. Thanks for all your help.
Awesome guy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. This has been the Post MTE episode 206.
And don't forget to level up your tools.
Don't do stupid stuff.
And keep it stiff.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog caps.
Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors. Thanks for listening.